Shalom, brothers and sisters out there. It's your brother Micaiah from One Nation, One Power, the Church of Christ, and welcome back. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Ahaya Asher Ahaya, in the name of Yeshaya and the Ruach Kodash. Shalom.
Psalms 83 verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. 'Cause they don't really love us, no. No, they don't love us, no. Better bundle up because this world is cold. This world is cold. This world is cold. The truth they don't want us to know. No, they don't want us to know. 'Cause we the people that he chose. That he chose.
Can you relate?
I just want some wisdom, you can keep your gold. And I'd rather be broke than to sell my soul. Yeah, F your money, I don't need your dollars. Praises to the Father, and I'm yelling Kwam Yasharala. No, I'm not a Muslim, I don't deal with Allah. Keep a sword with me, cut you up just like a barber. My people lost, we destroyed because we lacking knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, not that kind that you can get in college. We them children of the promise, the highest promise, the one that he made with our forefathers. Judah's alliance, what would tell me who shall rouse them, and we gon' rise up. That's why Esau wanna stop us. Hey, they don't really love us, no. No, they don't love us, no. Better bundle up because this world is cold. This world is cold. This world is cold. Hey, the truth they don't want us to know. No, they don't want us to know. 'Cause we the people that he chose. That he chose. Yeah, reading these scriptures now I see the truth. This world is so cold, man, they killing our youth. Just turn on the news and you'll see the proof. They don't care about me, they don't care about you. They give us the guns, they tell us to shoot. They give us the drugs, they tell us to use. They tell us to sell them, they play us like fools. The private salute, so that's what we do. We gotta wake up, man, there's no time to snooze. Our power's the greatest, so we cannot lose. They try to degrade us, but they can't erase us out. God didn't make us to play by their rules, and that's why they hate us. They hate that they ain't us, and Satan can't make us get down with his crew. They lock us and chain us, they cuff us and slave us, but they'll never break us. We always break through. It's true. We the chosen people, our spirit gold, and we royalty. So we straight away, our Father kept us. That's loyalty. When it's time for judgment, won't have attorneys, no lawyer fees. When it's time for judgment, it's gonna be destruction of our enemies. Yeah. 'Cause they don't really love us, no. No, they don't love us, no. Better bundle up because this world is cold. This world is cold. This world is cold. Go, go. The truth they don't want us to know. No, no, they don't want us to know. Why? Why? 'Cause we the people that he chose. That he chose. The people that he chose. Hey.
This is truth music, the truth movement. Yo, we've been a part of the biggest conspiracy the planet has ever known, man. You ever wonder why everybody seems to hate us? Everywhere we go, seems like everybody hates us. The world is against us. We gonna bring y'all some light, you know what I mean? Check it out.
It's been a long time, but we waking up.
So many
Lies we told, we waking up. So many lockdowns, so many shot down.
you can't keep to from this crowd, trying to hold us, trying to break us, take our names away, but couldn't take the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Lie to us, Christians lie to us. Read the Bible, the history is tied to us. Nobody died for us, Messiah died for us. Ask the saints, all of them cry for us. At last, the truth has finally come out. We the people of the Bible. This is no doubt. Can these bones live? I am living proof and baffled. Why my people hate the truth? False religions, false idols. False titles, this is truth music, not elementary recitals. Feel this, y'all. Get close to the speaker. The word splits me when I'm feeling weaker. Let it sink down deep, deep into your mental. Truth gets so hot it overheat. Instrumentals from the big cities plus the big lights. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Long time I've been waking up so many lies been told. We waking up so many, locked up so many, shot down. You can keep doing police crime, try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now I pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the
Close your
Israelites.
eyes. Picture 400 years of slavery. The same people had a lifetime full of bravery. Hung in trees just like the Savior. Had to pick up the pen and put the truth down on paper. And if you don't believe me, check out the script. Deuteronomy 28 and 68 dash and tip on who was brung to the U.S. on slave ships. Learn real history, not this BS. Heretics, governments, politicians making satanic decisions. Walt Disney turning kids into magicians. But now, truth is coming out in these last days. Put the strong drink down and throw away your haze. Plagues, don't worry, the Most High will bring them. You want to know whose address is on the kingdom? We from the big cities, plus the big lies. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites.
Long time I've been waking up so many lies been told. We waking up so many, locked up so many, shot down. You can keep doing police crime, try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now I pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Sit back, thinking deep like the pit. Man, this Israelite thing is really it. Mind blowing. Who knowing? Trying to stop me from flowing. Red or green light. I just keep on going. I quiet. I'm like.
All right, my brothers and sisters. All right, my brothers and sisters. All right. Shalom, shalom, my brothers and my sisters out there. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be tackling a lesson called The Net Worth of the Beast. All right. The lesson is going to be called The Net Worth of the Beast. And so you guys already know, those who have wisdom and understand, you already know who the beast is in the latter days, and that is the United States of America. Is it Babylon? No. Is it the spirit of Babylon? Yes. All right. The spirit of Babylon is over the whole entire world right now. All right. But this over here in the United States, this is our promised lands. But it's also where the beast sits. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that out as well. We are going to be going into the seal portion, chapter 90. All right. The seal portion, chapter 90. And we might end up reading the whole chapter. Okay. There's a lot of good wisdom in there. I don't have too much of a preset right now, but we're just gonna read it, and we're just gonna think about life as we go on and read the words that are written in this chapter. There will be a few precepts that come to mind, but like I said, I don't have any type of precepts right now to give you right now, but there are a few precepts that I've written inside when I was studying it. But like I said, this was my first time reading this chapter, and so I want to share it with you guys because there's a lot that that's going on right here, and I want to share it with all of you guys, especially for those who don't even have access to the seal portion. All right. But I want to show you guys some good wisdom coming from this chapter. because a lot of us are actually dealing with this on a day-to-day life basis. Okay. So there are, like I said, I just opened up the books, opened up the Bible. Don't have too many precepts going on inside the Bible. I don't have too many precepts going inside the Apocrypha, but there are some eye catchers that came across my attention. So we're gonna read them, all right? But we're gonna go into it, okay? We're gonna go into the Apocrypha first. We're just gonna be swinging from the hip and just let the Mother, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodesh, just lead us from as we read, all right? And it says in Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verses 20. And it reads, "Blessed is the man that doth meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. He that considereth her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secrets. Go after her as one that traceth and lieth and wait in her ways." So like I said, my brothers and sisters, we're just going to read today. All right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verses 23. Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 23. "He that wanteth understanding will think upon vain things, and a foolish man erring imagining follies. My son, hearken unto me and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart." All right. And so that's what we're going to be getting into. We're going to learn some knowledge and some wisdom coming out from the Silk Portion chapter 90 today. And I'm going to read it to you. All right. But anyways, before we go there real quick, there's something I've seen in Deuteronomy chapter 4 real fast, right? And so we're going to go there real quick. And it reads Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5, and it reads, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it." Verse 6, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom." What? Read verse 6 again. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, Surely this great nation is wise and an understanding people." For what nation? For what nation is there so great? For what nation is there so great? So, the first nation you probably thought it was the good old US of A, right? Nah. The United States is the most wicked of all the nations upon earth. All right? And I don't care if there's military people watching me right now. I don't care if there's Republicans out there watching me right now, Democrats. What the hell is that? I don't give a damn who the hell you are. I don't care if you watch me or not and you disagree with me on this. So be it. Let's read Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6 again. Verse 7. "For what nation is there so great, who hath God so near unto them as the Lord our God, and all this thing that we call upon him?" Let's read verse 6 again. That was verse 7, by the way. "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall surely say of these statutes and say, Surely this nation is a wise and understanding people." So, if we're looking at this, what nation out there is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? None. The Ish people, they're not doing them. And a lot of Christianity, they're not doing them either. Uh, Germany is not doing them. China's not doing them. Russia's not doing them. Australia's not doing them. All these nations out there, the United Kingdom is not doing them. The good old US of A is not doing them. Verse 8. And what nation, okay, watch this. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgment so righteous, all as all this law which I set before you this day? Which nation is so great out there that's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments? None. Hey, I tell you, who's doing them right now is the people who have their hands on these books right now, who is the people of the book, who is also providing you with the revelations and the mysteries of these books, as we are at One Nation, One Power, and all our other brothers and sisters linked up, and the righteous brothers and sisters of the Gentile nations who have seen what we are doing. All right, let's get into it. Like I said, still portion. Chapter 90. Let's read the header real quick. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of reading. Still portion, chapter 90. Having no money or value placed upon the necessities of life will create much peace and happiness in society. The businesses and corporations are tools used by the rich to grind the faces of the poor. The Lord shall destroy all businesses that do not do something to provide for the necessities of life or the happiness of humankind. Let's read verse 1. And now the first thing that shall be done when the Lord cometh upon the earth is that he shall rebuke all those who have placed a value upon not only the things of the earth, its gold, and silver, and the fine precious things, but also the values that have been placed upon the souls of the children of men. Behold, in that day there shall be no money, which is the number of the beast, and which is created and sustaineth the value that hath been placed upon all things upon the earth, and also upon all souls of men, which shall lead into the wickedness of slavery. And if there is no money and no value is placed upon the earth or upon the souls of men, then there shall be no rich and poor, but all shall have all things in common. And the brother of Jair wrote concerning, saying, and the Lord took away the power and the control of the rich by taking away the value that he placed upon the money system that is established among the children of men. For in that day all the world shall be under one monetary system, which shall be controlled by the rich. And when the Lord devalues the worth of all things, there shall be no gold or silver or paper money of any kind in that day. For the value of the riches that a man possesses is counted unto him by the machines that hold the accounting of his wealth within them, which is the number of his name, or works. You already know where that's linking up, your social security card. And the number of his name is distributed to all those who have access to these machines, so that all might know the number by which he is named. Each man, woman, and child upon earth is given an account, Social Security card, that has held within this machine. And when a man is employed at a business, a value is placed upon him that which he had been employed. And when he worked for a time, then the number of his worth or the value of his credit in his account that is held within these machines. Verse 8. And when he maketh a purchase of whatever his heart desireth, then his value that is placed upon this thing taken away from the account that given unto him in his worth and the number of his name, and required of all upon earth who are of age to work in some, which is what, 16 over here in the United States, right? Verse 9 again, and it is required of all upon earth who are of age to work in some manner that they might have a number in their accounts that provide them for all the things that they need to live. Verse 10, and when a man or woman desire that which they cannot afford because of the inefficiency of the number of their account, then they borrow against their account and are forced, what? And are forced to pay usury for that amount that is above the number of their account. So I got a precept that we can go to. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 25, verse 37. Leviticus 25 and 37, and it reads, Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. Let's go to another one in Deuteronomy. This is part of our curses too. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 and read, let's see. Deuteronomy 28 and let's see. And where we at? What's one of the curses? Where is it at? Okay. Alright. You shall lend. Let's see. Where we at? There we go. Verse 44. Deuteronomy 28, verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That is a curse that the poor people are going through today, aka the children of Israel. All right. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. But remember the great conjunction that we just had? And this is the seed that I planted on that night too. Is that I've been praying to the Most High, and I've been praying the blessings of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 1 through 14. All right, 1 through 14. Why? Is because it's the blessings that are going to come back on our people if we're doing these laws, statutes, and commandments. See, if we're putting in the work, then we're going to be prosperous. All right. So that's what I've been doing. That's the seed I've been doing. And also, I pray that you guys will be doing the same thing too. Just pray that those blessings be upon us as a people. All right. Because it says right here in verse 13, this is our blessing as a people. All right. Deuteronomy 28 verse 13, and the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. What? To observe and to do them. Let's look at another one, Proverbs 28 and 8. Proverbs 28 and 8. Proverbs 28 and 8. And it reads, he that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. What? He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Let's keep reading. 11 in the sub portion of chapter 90. And it reads, and there are many who have little in their accounts because of the value that has been placed upon the things that they need to eat and to wear and upon a home in which to live. And the value of these things are determined by the rich among them, that they might get continual gain from those who seek it only, at which they can survive by the necessities of life. And the poor rebel against the value. What? And the poor rebel against the value that have been placed upon the things that sustain their lives. So that prices may go up on food, prices may go up on clothes, prices may go up on your rent. Your rent. I'm pretty sure your landmaster. I would say landlord, but I just say landmaster. Your rent master or whatever the hell. Be saying, oh, at the end you be getting like a little paper notice on your front door. Well, we have increased your rent to $100 more than what it was. So you be paying like $800. Oh, it's at $900 now. Or you paying $1,250 now. It's at $1,350. See, stuff like that. But let's continue. Verse 13. And the poor rebel against the value that can be placed upon the things that sustain the lives, so that the rich might get gain from them. But when they rebel against the things that they are taken by the rich, watch this. But when they rebel against these things, then they are taken by the rich and placed in prisons away from the rest of the people as a punishment for disobeying the laws of the rich. Now you know what's going on, my brothers and sisters. Is that they have set up this society to get gain. You already know the saying, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. And it's kind of crazy because Bill Gates is sitting there saying that we want to take out a big number of the minorities in this earth. The rich are complaining to the wealthy people upon this earth right now. They're like seriously complaining. Why? Is because they're having to put the money that's in their pockets and put it towards the poor people in regards to WIC, like housing assistance, stuff that goes on with all kinds of stuff that has to be dealing with our people, Planned Parenthood, all that stuff. See, everything that's created in this system right now is to destroy us as a people of the children of Israel. That's why they break up families. Okay? They break up families. They break up the man, they break up the woman, they cause strife in between the relationships. They see that these little hoochies walking down the street, and these hoochies be saying, "Oh, you a thirsty dude, you a thirsty dude," but yet they're like publicizing, naked people on TV, and that's how the people want to dress, and they want to become celebrities like them, and they want to sell you a false dream upon TV, television. They lie to you all the time, and and then the baby mama comes back over here, she arguing with her man, and things of that nature, and it's all drama. And then over at work, you know, the vice versa, you know, things can be going down, you know. Like, you know, the woman, she can be having an affair with her husband because she met this dude that's at her job and making a lot of money and she wants that life. Yes, that's already been planted there. That thing, I think it's in the book of Jasher. It talks about it. How they think that we're working together, but there's some people out there that are gonna pull back. They're gonna pull back and they're gonna see how everybody else is putting the work, and then they'll start to have more power over all the other people that are working. See, this whole system is jacked up. It's horrible. And that's why you say, you know, woe to them that call good evil and evil good. Okay? But let's continue. Verse 14. And while in these prisons, the poor become hardened in their hearts against the rich, and imagine up in their hearts all manner of evil that they would do to the rich who have placed their value upon the necessities of life and also upon their souls. Let's get a precept real quick, my brothers and sisters. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 42, verses 22. Isaiah 42 and 22. And it reads, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. What do we call that, snared in holes in today's life? Oh, trap houses, right? They call these snared in holes. We call them the trap houses in today's terms, right? Okay. And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivered, for a spoil, and none says, restore. We are trapped up in prison houses because of the way the system is built to enslave our people. Excuse me. Let's keep going. Verse 15. And I beheld that there were many prison houses, many prisons set among them, that and many in the possess of being built to punish the poor. These prison houses were meant to punish the poor. P. Punish the poor. Man, just by reading this, it gets to me sometimes. But we're going to keep going. Okay, let's keep reading. And I beheld that there were many prisons, set among them many in the possessions of being built to punish the poor who will rebel against the will of the rich. And there existed no love among the people of the earth, for there was no trust one for another because of the desires of all to obtain the fine things of the world by the number of their accounts that are maintained in the machines that are beheld. Verse 17. And when the Lord came among them, he commanded his holy angels to destroy all the machines that have the accounts of all the inhabitants of the earth and all the number of their names. And when he had destroyed these machines, all the people of the earth became equal, having no value placed upon them by the name of their number of their names. And the rich, look this up. 19. And the rich lamented of that which the Lord had done and cursed his name, hid themselves from the face of the Lord in their mansions and in their grand estates and in their lascivious house and dominicals. Let's get another precept. Let's go to Revelation 6:16. Revelation 6:16 real quick. Revelation chapter 6, verse 16. reads, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Crazy, right? We'll read it again in verse 19. And the rich lamented of that which the Lord had done, and cursed his name, and hid themselves from the face of the Lord in their mansions, and in their grand estates, and in their little houses, and in their minnacles. Verse 20, but the poor rejoiced exceedingly in that which the Lord had done, and the poor were those who were responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep of lifestyle that the rich had created themselves, and the rich had maintained control over the poor because of the accounts and the number of their names, so security, which gave unto each man, woman, and child, and the ability to purchase that which they need to survive. For the rich have placed a value upon the food and the raiment and the houses of the poor, and paid them in wages for their employ only, that which the poor could afford to sustain their lives. Minimum wage. You can't get by with minimum wage today. They keep on raising the prices of all these purchases of houses, your rent, insurance, your doctor bills, your 401k, whatever you want to call that crap. And you know it's kind of crazy too. You know they got some jobs out there, and I'm pretty sure you guys already seen it on your pay stubs. Is that you got some jobs out there that will say, "Oh, well, we're not in the business of doing medical bills right now at the moment, but we will down in the future, right?" So get this, I've actually had this happen to me, where I came across a job that was very similar to this. Okay, they said, "Well, we don't have medical insurance right now at the moment, but we are going to get them very soon." So the first check comes in. I looked at my pay stub, right? And it says Medicare. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why are they trying to take out Medicare when they said they're not giving me medical insurance and stuff like that, right? And and they even said, past your 90 days, they were not going to really get your medical insurance. Okay, so get that right. But I looked at it, and it says Medicaid. I'm like, okay, so something popped into my mind. I'm like, okay, so you guys are paying, you're working me to do your stuff while you're just sitting there, and then you could pull the Medicaid expense out of my check to pay for your health benefits. So that's the thing that just popped up in my mind. I was like, what the hell, man? These people are tripping. Man, I told you these people are wicked. This whole nation is wicked. Wicked. Like, for real. Very soon, my brothers, we're gonna be done. We're gonna be done with all this. Just have patience and hold fast, all right? No matter what. Let's keep reading. It says in verse 20, where we at? We're at 22, right? I'll read it again. For the rich have placed a value upon the food and the raiment and the houses of the poor, and paid them in wages for their employ only, that the poor could afford to sustain their lives. And the poor were forced to work for the rich to obtain a number that would place in their accounts, which number was controlled by the rich, man. Some of these businesses out there, every time you clock in, they're making about $5,000-$10,000 off you in that day. Every time you clock in, you go to work, they're making about, these rich people out there, these CEOs, they're making about $5,000-$10,000 off you a day. And you want to push over there and work overtime, 40 hours and above. Can you imagine how many of these people, these CEO people, are making over you? You know how much money they're making over you right now? When you keep wanting to clock in, just work past your time, you're being a super slave. A super slave. Yes, you need money to survive and to live in this society at the moment. Yes, I understand that. But don't make money your God. Yes, the reason why we're forced to is because we have the mark of the beast in our hands. Okay? We have the mark of the beast in our hands. Now, if you're just thinking all about the money and you say, oh, I need to get my 40 hours and I need to get overtime and I need to have a job that's like $22 an hour and above. When your just mindset is just focused on getting that money, that money, that money, that money, that money, then you got the mark of the beast in your forehead too. Now I don't care how much you want to say, oh, I'm doing it for my family. Are you really? Or are you doing it for your self gain? Because that's what the devil taught us in this society. It's all about independence and being more superior over your neighbor. Let's keep reading. Told you this is a very interesting chapter. Let's keep reading on. Verse 24 again. And the rich have placed a value upon the worth of the soul of a man and the woman who perform work for them. But the Lord commanded that there shall be no more account given of the worth of a man and a woman or a child, but that should be provided for the equally in all that they need to sustain their lives, all being equal in the eyes of the Lord. And then the rich lament exceeding because they could no longer make profit from the desires of another to sustain his life. And the Lord commanded that all the prisoners, watch, check this out. And the Lord commanded that all of the prisoners inside of the prisons be released and given their freedom in all things, and also to be made equal like unto all others upon earth. And the prisoners that were being held by the rich came forth and knelt before the Lord and praised his name and made his covenant to obey him and keep his commandments in all things. And he commanded the people to continue in all the businesses that were accustomed to do, so that the same economy would survive by which the people were accustomed to living. But he commanded his angels, excuse me, commanded his angels to go throughout the earth and change the course of all the employment that did not provide an opportunity for the happiness and for the necessities of life of the people of the earth. And the majority of all the merchants and the businesses that were set upon among them were those that had nothing to do with the product of food, raiment, or shelter, but were set up to manage and the account for the and maintain the accounts and the numbers held within their machines. And the rich had set up an ingenious system of stocks and bonds. The what is that? The stock exchange, Bitcoin, all these other cryptocurrencies. Okay, whereby they might gain more numbers in their accounts without working for them. Oh man, I just hit that right on the nail, right? Cryptocurrency. And if a man invested his number into a company, he was promised by the company that he would return a greater number than which he invested. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. Come on, it's all in front of your face. And the company would take the money that was invested into it and seek for means and ways whereby it might make more profit and increase of its own number, so that it might give back to the investor that which he had promised unto him. Nevertheless, the companies that were like unto the account and the numbers of the rich, that they were not actual people, but the entities of incorporation, which have been deployed by the laws of the rich to get gain. Verse 34. And when a man would invest his number with a company, and the company could not increase the number of his name sufficiently to pay back a dividend to the investor, then there was no course of risk given that the man might receive back the money that he had given, because the company was not responsible as one man might be to another, because it was not a man but a number. Verse 35, when a company desired to make a profit so that he might pay dividends of those who invest in it, then it grindeth up the face of the poor and taketh more from the poor and useth its power over them to make profit that it desireth. And the Lord shall never again allow a man to make profit by the labor of another man, but all shall give equally of their time to have the things that they all can share to bring happiness to them equally. Equally. And if a man increases in his abilities and can provide them as a benefit to others, then he shall do so, whether it be much to give or too little to give, according to the bills that he had received from the blessings of existence that the Father had given to all of us. And in the last days, the rich shall enforce their laws. Watch this, verse 38. And in the last days, the rich shall enforce their laws and their ways upon the poor by the means of force that Lucifer hath used to reign over them. Lock you up. I'm gonna cause strife in between the man and the woman. Uh, hey, you not take care of your kid? We call child services on you. DFS upon you. Oh, you need. Oh, this brother over here selling dope. He wants to be a drunk. Hey, lock him up. Oh, she want to be a prostitute. Lock her up. See, this is how they work. This is how they work. Verse 39. I love this part right here too. Watch this. But in the day of the Lord, the armies and navies and all means of force of all the governments throughout the world shall be disbanded and become absolute against the power of the Lord and his holy angels. For with the command of his word, the Lord can cause a mountain to rise up and cover an entire battalion of soldiers and all the weapons of war. So when the Mosai sends Yeshaya down, he's gonna make these people go bankrupt, and they're gonna basically try to go into their little battle stations and freak out and want to prepare for war. But Mosai is not gonna allow them to do that. Oh, these people think they think it's gonna be easy for them. Hey, it's not. Verse 40, and the Lord shall cause to be set up places of employ for all the people of the earth, and no value shall be placed upon that which one would do in his employ, but all shall be equal before the Lord. And all food and raiment and houses shall become free to all. What? All food and raiment and houses shall become free to all. Still portion chapter 90, verse 41. And now I, Moroni, say unto those who you shall receive these things before the prophecy concerning that day of the Lord described by the brother there shall come to pass. excuse me. Behold, the first thing that you must do amongst yourselves is to establish a principle and law that guarantee to all the necessities of life. And now I ask this thing of you: is it fair that any among you be forbidden these things? Behold, the choices of their existence was not made by them, but was made by the parents who created them. Let me speak that in today's terms, okay? You know, you see our people out there in the streets, gang banging, selling dope, selling drunks, selling guns, all that stuff. And then they have kids, and the kids watch their parents do it, and then the cycle of the generations just continues. They say, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up, son?" "Well, I want to be a drug dealer. I want to be a street thug, or something like that." So it continues the cycle. All right. Let's go to verse 45. Therefore, none of them should be responsible to suffer for a want of any of these things to sustain their lives in the existence in which they were created. Now, I already explained this unto you in this record, even that none of us has made a conscious choice to come to existence, but we were created by the will of the pleasure of the Father. And for this reason, the plan of the Father provided for us all those things which we need to remain in the existence in which we were created. And in the kingdom of the Father, there is no monetary value placed upon the things which He had done given to us. Neither is that which they do to us according to our individual desires of happiness. Value more that which another doeth. For behold, when our basic needs are guaranteed unto us, then we just have to hope that our existence is fair and just, and we begin to believe by this hope that those who created us love us and care about us. When we are forced to provide for those things of ourselves, we think that it is not fair that we must come into existence because of the desires of another, and are forced against our free will to do labor for that which we had no choice, but for that which we need to labor in order to continue the existence that which we were created. So it's like basically going in your daily life thinking that, you have to go to school, you have to graduate, you have to get a job, you have to work for so many million years, you retire, and then you die, and then the cycle continues. That's basically what it's talking about right there. Verse 50. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, call upon the rich and the governments that have power over you, and demand them in righteousness that they provide for you the necessities that you require to sustain your lives. Yet demand that there exist laws prohibiting the creation of a child, and it is not the intent of those who have created it to provide for its needs in the days of its life. For this reason, none can create life in the kingdom of the Father except it be those who have already proven that they are worthy parents, and that they will provide for the happiness of their creation in all things. Yet it is not fair and just? Question mark. And the plan of Lucifer would not have it this way, for he believed that we should create others to serve us. What? And the plan of Lucifer would not have it for this way, for he believed that we should create others to serve us. And for this reason, he put it in his hearts of the children of men to exalt themselves one above another, so that one is forced to serve another. Okay? Let's go to, what is it, 54 next, okay? I love me some great Kool-Aid. All right, verse 54, and it reads, and when one is forced to serve another, this shall always create misery and despair unto those who are forced to serve by no choice of their own. And ye of the latter days, are not ye servants of those who give you the money so that you might live? Are you not their inventor slaves that they might get gain from your employ? Are you not required to work all the days of your lives under their subjection because of the power that they have over you and the money that you receive from them? Question mark. Now, if you had a righteous government that provided you with food and clothing and shelter, then you would not be the servant to any man, for he could not command you in anything, knowing that you need his employee and still be able to survive and be happy. Verse 57. Do you not see the guise of the rich in enslaving you that you might get gain from you and not the works of themselves? It is not the image of happiness that the beast has deceived you in believing this is the only way to peace and happiness? So you think that being a slave the rest of your life is your happiness? Is it? You think that going down to the strip club or just going down to a football game and going down to just some type of a sport or whatever, just going to a restaurant or going to work your job, you think that's happiness? Or taking your kids to school from 8:15 to 3:30, you think that's happiness? Going to college, getting your high school, your bachelor's and associate's degree, getting your high school diploma, you think that is happiness? That is not happiness. It is not happiness. That is slavery right there. Verse 58. And those who are rich are employed the souls of the children of men that they might get gain for you. Which you say yourselves, how can you justify that which you maintain in the image of the beast? Yeah, I have read that which ye say in the words of the brother of Jared. Listen here, okay? So this is what the wicked, the rich folks are saying to us right now, okay? Just listen 1 second. And ye speak saying, this is what the rich people are saying. I am rich because I deserve the blessings of God. This is what the rich folks are saying. Because I provide for those who are in my employ, talking about the poor, with the things that they need to live. And if they did not provide them with and if I did not provide them with employment, then they would not have the necessities of life and would die and deserve to be, and therefore I deserve to be exalted above them because that which I do for them. So this is basically what the rich are saying to the poor, like, hey, I'm providing a job so that they can live day to day in their lives and survive and die. So I have to give them employment so they don't go through that paycheck to paycheck, or they don't go through that situation where they have to pay for the college or stuff like that. Like they're basically saying, so I need to be above them. This is what the rich are saying. Verse 61. Woe to the rich who think in this manner, for you shall be condemned greatly for that which ye do. Yet how many of those whom ye employ would work for you if they were always guaranteed that which they needed to survive? Do you think that they will remain in your employment when you treat them with disrespect and put yourselves above them? Whew. It's going to get real deep right now. Watch. Do you think that they are happy in your employ? And I say unto you that they are not happy in your employ, but a necessity they are forced to be your slaves. And now it is not a hard thing for a government of a nation to be set up a system whereby all of the people of earth can have those things which they need to sustain their lives. And now I have seen in the latter days and the nation of the United States of America, the United States of America, United Snakes, you damn snakes, you damn wicked people. Let's read that again. And now I have seen the latter days, and the nation of the United States, which is the most wicked nation upon earth in regards to those who seek it to enslave the souls of the children of men, so that they might get gain and not be required to work by the sweat of their own brow. Damn lazy freaking rich people. Yeah, ye complain in this nation of the poor and the needy, whom you believe are lazy. So this is what you guys are saying to us, you damn rich folks. That you're saying that the poor are lazy because we're not doing nothing for you. Stop complaining, big sissy lala. Yeah, ye complain in this nation because of the poor and the needy, whom you believe are lazy and undeserving of the fine things of the world, and ye have many of them in your prisons because of the imagined threat that ye suppose that they have caused you, because that which they do not own their own bodies. Behold, I have seen the great abuse that many of the poor do to their bodies with drugs, which ye have made legal by the laws. What? So you're making drugs out there and you're making us use them because we're trying to seek happiness? All right, let's keep reading. I told you it's about to get deep. Verse 66, so portion chapter 90, verse 66. Behold, I have seen the great abuse that many of the poor do to their bodies with drugs, which have made legal by the laws that you have established among you. Now, why is that you imprison these whom take these legal drugs, when the reason why they take them because they are in search of temporary happiness and an escape from the drudgery of the employ that is forced upon them by your desires to get gain? Behold, ye have many drugs which ye take that are prescribed to you by your doctors, which are more harmful than these drugs which are distributed and consumed by the majority of those whom ye imprison. And many of those whom you have imprisoned have been convicted of crimes that you caused them to commit because of the unrighteous laws that you have established for yourselves. Do you think that by placing them in prisons that you shall solve the unhappiness, and the problems of your society? So you think that giving us drugs, putting us in your prison house is going to solve your society? No. I say unto you that it shall not solve any of your problems, but shall make them worse for you. So it's talking about you, United States of America. Verse 70. And what shall ye say when the Lord cometh in glory of the Father, and commandeth that all the prisons be destroyed, and all the prisoners therein be released? What shall you think of your sloths? What are you going to do when the Most High sends Yeshua, and he's going to destroy all your prison houses and lets them out? What are you going to say about your laws then? Your constitution laws. Oh, your Bill of Rights laws. Oh, your Declaration of Independence laws. Oh, my First Amendment, my Second Amendment, my Third, my Fourth, my blah, 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 my 14th Amendment. What are you going to say about your laws then? Nothing. Nothing. Behold, if you want to help your brothers and sisters who are in prison because of you, then you should seek out the reasons for the which they have broken the laws that you have established against them. Behold, why do you think that it would be more beneficial if you would have found the source of their desires to commit these crimes, or the reason why they have broken your laws, instead of treating the symptom that you know a prison will not cure? You sending us to the prison house is only going to make us worse. You putting these drugs and you telling us to use, you putting the guns tell us to shoot. We don't manufacture these guns. Y'all put them on the streets for us to use. Y'all want to sell, you want to put these on the streets, make us sell them and make us look like fools so that you can imprison us. So you think that's going to solve your happiness? It's not. What nation is there so great that have the laws, statutes, and commandments of God? Not you, you good old crap of the United States of America. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if anybody hear me right now. You suck. Hell yeah, I'm pissed off. Let's keep reading. Verse 73. And now I have given to you the will of the Lord concerning these things, that if you desire that you might make the necessary changes in your laws and your government that shall solve these problems which you have before you, in the day of the Lord he shall place a great emphasis on the food that is produced for consumption in those days. He shall make it a priority. What? He should make it a priority that the farms and the gardens of the earth begin to produce all manners of fruits and foods which are pleasing to the eye and the refreshing to the taste. And he shall command that its food that be that which all shall have good according to their needs and their wants. So, hey, all that pig, hey, all that pig that you want to be eating, all that shrimp that you want to be eating, crab, lobster, it's gonna be gone. You're not gonna be eating it no more. Nope. What's good and refreshing to the eye. And he should command that this food be that which all should have according to their needs and their wants. Verse 76. And these fruits and the food shall be natural foods, which are created according to the laws of nature, as they were in the beginning, when the sons and daughters of Adam lived for many years in the health of happiness. So no more injecting your hormones into our foods. No more putting that pig DNA up in our foods. No more putting all these damn nasty craps of diseases in our foods. No more putting that gelatin in our foods, because you already know that gelatin comes from the pig. No more putting these animal blood, like monkey blood, rat poisoning up in your foods and cigarettes and stuff like that. And it's gonna be done. Y'all need to repent. Y'all need to repent. Good old crap of the United States of America. Verse 77. And no man or woman or child shall go without enough food to eat. No more going out there being hungry. It's gonna end. Everybody gonna be fed. Everybody gonna be clothed. Everybody gonna have a roof over their head. You ain't gonna be seeing on the streets or these little commercials of people on the streets where it says that, well, you see, you already see these commercials of people starving over there in Africa, right? You already see them, but they don't talk too much about the ghettos over here in the United States of America. It's sad, man. And no man or woman or child shall go without enough food to eat. Nevertheless, the food that they shall eat shall be the only food that should be beneficial to their bodies. What? Beneficial to their bodies. Even that the food that shall cure all manner of ills within them. Verse 78. And now, because there shall be no value placed upon the food that shall be available for all to eat, there shall be no reason why one would steal for this food. And if a man steal any of this food, then what shall he say to another? Buy this food for me for a price. And the other will say unto him, what price thinkest thou that I can will give unto thee for something that I can obtain without a price? And with and furthermore, there shall be no money to exchange for food. No more going to your restaurants and paying for your damn uh, steak or your chicken. None of that. This is coming. And furthermore, there shall be no money to exchange for food. Therefore, there is no incentive given to steal this food. And when a man knoweth that he had sufficient food that he might live, then this man beginneth to believe that he is happy, and that those who have provided this food for him value him as a man who is equal to them. And when a man feeleth that he is valued to his equal to others, and he is happy and hath no desire to hurt others or to steal from them, or cause pain upon them for any reason. And when you feel all equal importance one another, then shall hope rise among you, and ye shall be happy and at peace. All right. Let's go to the. Let's go get a precept real quick and get it called out. Let's go to seal portion chapter. Let's see what the antidote is. Let's go to the antidote. Let's look at the antidote. The antidote to this happiness is. Let me see. Where are we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? 50. Let me see. Where we at? Where we at? Self portion chapter. I think it's in the 50s. Let me see. One second. There we go. Seal portion chapter 58. Seal portion chapter 58, and we will look at verses 81 through 90. Right? Seal portion chapter 58, verses 81 through 90. Behold, the great and everlasting commandment and the eternal law of happiness of the Father who created all of us in this, that you love one another as you would have them love you. And this is one commandment alone, doth all other commandments and laws stand. And there is none other commandment by which you must live. And yet this is the great standard of the Lord. This is the embodiment of which the words of Christ and all encompassing message that the Father had given to his children from the beginning. And understanding or the words of the Christ shall all the children of God, yet even everyone be judged according to their works. Behold, every action, every thought, every reaction, even every time that you use your free agency to act in the independent state that which you have been created, then you shall be judged according to this standard. And if you cannot love another as you would have them love you, then you shall not inherit the kingdom of God. And there shall be found no place in his kingdom for you. But you shall take your place with those who rebelled against the plan of the Father in the beginning, even with Lucifer and those who followed him. And now I admonish you to read and reread the words of Christ, even all the scripture that he has suffered to be written of him, and see for yourselves if this message does not say these things unto you. He is our Savior, because he teaches us these things that we might be saved, and all those who teach his words are the saviors of men. What? What did that say in verse 88? Hey, don't talk about my elders at One Nation, One Power. Don't do it. Why? Because we're trying to be saviors of men. We're trying to give you guys the antidote to your problems. So don't be speaking about my people, either one of them, or my brothers and sisters, or my Gentile brothers and sisters. So don't be putting your mouth out there. All right. What does that say in verse 88 again? Yeshua is our Savior because He teaches us these things that we might be saved. And all those who teach His words are the saviors of men and are in one mind and mission with the Father who gave these words unto all of us in the beginning. So if you have a problem with Elder Ayil, if you have a problem with Elder Kodash, if you have a problem with Elder Tony, if you have a problem with Elder Sabah, if you got a problem with Elder Big Judah, or any of the other elders, you got a problem with me too. And hey, don't let me catch you slipping because hey, bless those that bless us and curse those that curse us. Whatever you reap, you're gonna sow. I'll tell you straight like that. All right. All right. Let's keep reading in verse 89. And the Holy Ghost, who is one with the Father and the Son, shall teach these things unto all of us, even by giving us peace and happiness when we keep this great commandment of God. Verse 90. And when the Spirit hath withdrawn from itself, from us, because we do not keep this commandment, then we are left unto ourselves and feel misery, strife, depression, loneliness, and pain. Oh, watch out. Have you heard that Mexican word? Have you heard it before? What they say? Trucha. Huh? Watch out. Let's go to our last one. We'll call it tonight. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, United States of America. Whatever shall be bound up in heaven shall be bound upon earth. United States of America, you are done. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that thou both and thy seed may live. For one more out. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do these things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and all wisdom is the performance of the law, and the knowledge of his ultimacy. All right? I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, United States of America. If you do not listen to these words, hey, whatever you sow, you're going to reap. All right? So I'm just letting you know. All right? I love you, my brothers and sisters out there who have listened. And, let's keep praying against our enemies. And, just says Exodus chapter, 9 verse 1. Let my people go. Shalom.